Alright, what's up guys, Poison here. Now let me just check real quick. So we're recording audio, we're recording video. Okay, that's fine. So today, welcome back to another episode of Saturday Screw Around. I'm literally making this yesterday, essentially, that they watched Friday. Now, this is Narcissu, another visual novel game. This is actually, we're going to continue on from last time. Jesus Christ. Pardon the game, I'm also editing a video right now as I'm, quote unquote playing. Fuck, I have not talked at all today. So we're going to do a quick little rundown. Now, this is a Saturday Screw Around, although this was made in 2005 to 2007, so you could consider this a setback if you wanted to. But essentially, Narcissu, we're playing as a little girl. I'm assuming maybe this girl, maybe not, because there's two Narcissus. There's there's two Narcissus, and then upon looking up Narcissu online, and sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, I have no idea, I'm not Japanese, even though that's an English word, I don't know how to pronounce it, but upon looking up the name of the game, there's multiple versions of the game, one where he plays a boy, one where he plays a girl. I don't know which is which, but we're playing the first one where he plays a girl, and we're going to do a quick little rundown. So, from what I remember last time, whatchamacallit, from what I remember last time, we were a little girl, and we ended up finally getting our license for driving. We finally got our driver's license. Unfortunately, we also found out that we have a disease. Now, there is no cure for the disease, so we're essentially going to die. And when we were in the hospital, I believe we collapsed, and we ended up in the hospital. We were on the 4th floor. Then, the doctor ends up talking to me, and I think it was my father in the game, and he says they're going to transfer me to room 7F. So, upon going to 7F, we meet this little girl. I don't remember her name either. And she tells us, once you're in 7F, you're dead. There's no cure for you. You're going to die regardless once you reach the 7th floor. So we spend some time. We get to know her some more. And she tells us, you can only be discharged from the hospital 3 times. After your 3rd discharge, you're not being discharged anymore. So you have a choice. Do you want to die at home, surrounded by your family, and watching them, and have them watch as you die? Or would you rather die in the hospital where they'll have to notify your family? But then she said, there's another option, actually. If you so wanted to, you could actually, you could escape the hospital, or you could escape the hospital. And she said there's 2 stations. There's Station A and Station B. If you wish to escape, go to Station B. And then our character decided, one day, she decided to walk around, and she decided to go to Station B. She discovered that it was empty. There were no guards or anything, and she saw how easy it was to escape. So she decided to go back, and her friend, the girl we met, was on her 3rd and final discharge, and she said, why don't we escape? And the girl said no, and so, our girl decided, she started going through it over in her head, and she's like, oh, she could have escaped at any time, but she decided not to. And then, other stuff happens. Then, where we left off, we were watching TV, and they ended up seeing flowers, which we're going to load it up right now. Load game. Jesus Christ, so loud. Do you happen to know a lot about them? Flowers, that is? Not really. Really, but I don't see a difference. This is in reference to, they were seeing flowers on a TV screen, and then the flowers they saw on TV were reminiscent of the flowers that are on the windowsill in the 7th floor. As you can see, the flowers on the screen, the flowers in the vase to her side. I continue to talk as I stare vacantly at the 2. Look, are those orchids or lilies? See, they're pure white, right? I had no interest. Yeah, I kept trying to make conversation. But she resumed her silence soon enough. And with her usual lack of expression... And I'm sorry, seriously, this game is going to lag because this video is editing, so... Whenever I edit videos, the computer lags really bad. So, I thought it wouldn't be much of a problem because, I'm not playing a game, I'm reading a fucking book, essentially. And with her usual lack of expression, she continued staring at the blank TV screen. And just when I turned back to the TV, resigned to the fact that I'd get nothing more out of her. Narcissus. What? Narcissus? Those are Narcissus? I don't know how to pronounce that word. As she answered. She turned to face me for the first time. Her hip-length hair swaying. She pointed at the TV screen and looked at me. The ID bracelet on her wrist, was white. Her skin was white, just like the flowers on screen. And I swore I could see a tiny smile. On that face that was looking at me for the first time. Geez, these frames keep changing. Right now it's at like 28 frames, 20 frames, 11 frames. Like right now it's at 11 frames. Can we just like exit this? Oh, this is gonna suck really bad. Sorry guys, give me 1 second. That's gonna be a pain in the ass. It should like come on. I just exited it. You should be like at a constant frame rate now. 22. January 16, 2005, 7th floor. A few days later, plunging further into the depths of winter. During this time that the rest of the world called exam period, we were sitting watching TV the same as ever. This is... Oh my god, guys. Give me 1 second. You guys are going to be with me for this journey as we cancel this video. Oh no, the computer just lagged. We're at 0 frames. We're at 0 frames. Dear God, have mercy. This was a video that's supposed to go up today, or yesterday. Let's see, we're 19, 23 frames, 27, 28, 29. Okay, this is boring. So it is. The exchange that could not even be called a conversation. We'd spent all our days in this fashion, killing time without meaning or purpose. Speaking of which, when is it for you? Give me 1 second. Speaking of which, when is it for you? Today. I see, so it's today. That word, that today, was a temporary discharge as she alluded to earlier. So this is going back to the thing she said last time, where she's going to be discharged for her third and final time. Now, I don't know if she's either going to choose to stay in the hospital and die, or if she's going to decide to go to home with her family. And I don't remember if she has a family, so that's kind of like sad. Okay, yeah, sorry. That was just a text. I just got told that I'm going to have to babysit my nephew. Apparently he's getting pulled out of school right now because my brother's not going to be able to pick him up. So I'm going to have to watch him for like an extra 2 hours or whenever my brother comes back. So I had to go text him something real quick. So that word today. Oh, getting a text back. So we may not see each other again. Yeah, I guess that's true. Because even if she were to be readmitted to 7F, that would be her last time. And at that time, I'd probably be discharged and readmitted myself. It didn't seem likely that things could be timed so that we could see each other again. Have you decided yet? About where I'm going to die? Yeah. No, not yet. I see. She nodded somewhat sadly, the expression of someone being discharged for the second time. I still felt nothing about the situation, and I hadn't heard from the doctors about my first discharge. Come to think of it, I wonder if she'd finally decided what her own answer to the dilemma would be. Click, click, click. Set to me, everything's set. Oh, there's actually a voice behind that one. A lady came up to us with 3 words. This is probably her mother. She nodded slightly at me. I did not rise. Okay, so these ports actually talk, huh? We'll be leaving soon, but are you all ready? I'm gonna raise this up a little bit. Yeah. They're speaking Japanese, god damn it. Well, have a nice day, sir. She nodded slightly at me again, and then turned to leave this place. She did stretch out her hand toward that girl, who was likely her daughter. But the girl did not move at all. She stayed rooted in her chair, even after her mother had grabbed her hand. What's wrong, Setsumi? It hurts a little. What, where? Your chest? Your abdomen? My chest. Stay right here. I'll call doctors right away. She took off and visited her used slippers in a sprint toward the nurse's station. Jesus Christ, it's like phlegm in the back of my throat. There were but 2 things left in this place, her and me, both in chairs. I did not know a thing about the disease or its status. The only things I knew were courtesy of her white ID bracelet. Her name was Setsumi, and her blood type was 0. But we were inhabitants of 7F, and she was older than me, if just by a little. Hey, do you want to lie down over there until the doctors come? I pointed at the corner of the lounge at the couch, at something that I had never seen used. It'll support your back after all. Doesn't matter, I'm fine now. Saying those words and nothing more, she stood up quickly. Hey, wait. Don't do anything foolish. But she was already halfway down the corridor before I could finish the sentence. Oh shit, Setsumi's gone. Nightfall, after lights out. Bored of reading manga as usual, I wandered to a darkened hallway, hospital. The usual lounge, now pitch dark from the absence of light. That was where I found her. Hey, so you're still here? Yeah. What's up, not feeling well again? Not really. Well, as she said, was all she said as she started at... God damn it, David. Stared at the window. So her discharge had been postponed after all. No one knew when the next chance would come, but it would probably be weeks from now, not days. Hey, could it be that you feigned illness today? No, that probably wasn't the right way to put it. See, you couldn't say that we weren't sick all the time. What I'm saying is, you didn't want to leave the hospital, did you? I don't know what you're talking about. because there is no afterwards for you now. But there was no answer to my question in her silence. She had asked me so many times before about where I wanted to die, and it had always been that I didn't know yet and that she didn't want to die at home or here on 7F. So you have no other place to go after all. And what of it? No, nothing. This familiar lounge flooded in darkness, her familiar stance looking out the window without so much as acknowledging my existence. Now guys, I feel so weird because I'm literally just reading you a book, honestly. If you're watching this, thank you, because I don't know. I'm not really a fan of playing this, but, you know, it's like 5 easy achievements, so why not? But, like, I like doing stuff like this because, honestly, before I started YouTube, I was very shy. I didn't talk much. But, you know, doing YouTube and doing voiceovers actually, like, helps because, you know, I feel my voice has changed since I started doing this. Like, I feel I'm more open to talking, and it doesn't hurt to talk that much, which is weird. Like, it never hurt to talk before, but, like, when I first started YouTube a year ago, it hurt to talk for 30 minutes straight. Now I can do it no problem. Like, as you see here, I'm going for, like, 25 minutes, maybe. So, you know, talking and doing YouTube has really helped, like, you know, for talking. It opens you up a lot more, which is really cool. But back to the game. Her familiar stance looking out the window without so much as acknowledging my existence. This place we called a hospital, and its extinguished lights in spite of the fact that it was only 11 p.m. or so. This was a tangent point between what was normal and what was not. On top of that, we were inhabitants of 7F, bereft of any choice save one, death on 7F or death at home. Back to what I said last video, I would rather die in the hospital instead of die at home where my whole family's gonna have to see me, honestly. The outside world that she was staring at from the pitch black heights of 7F, the normal world. The buildings and home were still radiant with light, and the street overflowed with people going home. And although my awareness of it was still vague, I was already an inhabitant of 7F, already an abnormal existence. There was no longer any way for me to go back to that other world, was there now? My time is at a standstill. I'd spent so many seasons, so many white overcast skies, without the want or need to converse with anybody. At first, I would look down at the healthy kids going to school and the people walking back and forth on the streets. And when I got tired of that, I always watched TV. Nothing else to do. Nothing else I could do. Even when there was snow outside the windows, it was always bright and sunny inside the TV screen. A dream world, stretching out before my eyes without heat, without cold, without pain. I sought comfort from my imagination, and so I amassed a huge knowledge base. Meaningless trivia upon meaningless trivia, over and over, and before I knew it, nothing that appeared on TV seemed real anymore. And in a quick succession, it also happened to books, games, and then my family. Finally, I was unable to view myself as anything real. Man, I was on a streak there, talking perfectly fine, then I messed up. As if I were staring at scenes of another person's life. That's why I was not surprised, even when they transferred me to 7F. If I but closed my eyes, the world would always vanish. Wrong button. I keep forgetting right click is this menu, left click is to continue on. So I thought I'd be fine, as I thought. And soon enough, my second discharge from the hospital. By the time of my next admission, I'd probably be too weak to stand by myself. I found my own self, the one who couldn't do anything, even though she knew this, to be pitiful. I found my own self, the one who had no destination, to be ridiculous. My time at a standstill, my heart at a standstill, my chest standing still with huge scars. I'd lived for 22 years now, and I found myself utterly helpless. So she's 22 and barely got her license, is what I'm assuming. January 19th, 2005. 7F. A few days after that, the overhanging clouds had cleared up, and an endless winter sky was in their place. Oddly enough, my father had come to visit, a difficult expression on his face the entire time, but he was saying something or other about my insurance. And at this time, his eyes were not unhappy at all. I have to talk to the doctors for a bit. Saying this, my father strode down the corridor, toward that dim conference room where this had all began, or so it seemed. My hospital room was now empty. Having nothing to do now, I reached for the weekly magazines. Why is it lagging that they'd been brought at the stands for me? And accompanying them, just as ever, there were fruits and drinks as get-well gifts. Alright, so I'm at a constant 30 frames. That means my computer is working fine. Now, I'm reaching more than 30 frames at times, but for some reason the game's lagging. And to one side of the basket that the fruits were piled in, right in front of the melons that I so hated. What I saw was a set of car keys. The keys shone silver, shone Ugh. These were the keys to my father's pride and joy, that coupe that he'd sweated over from the upholstery on outwards. The coupe that I'd asked to borrow a long time ago, and I'd been told no without a single second's delay. And my still unused driver's license in the breast pocket of my pajamas. Even after I had lost its chance for use that day, it remained with me waiting, as if that were its proof of life. What? Oh, sweet, I could go back? That's cool. In silence, I grabbed the keys. It happened as if on impulse. I had no idea what my motives were either. I just seized them without a second thought, as if I were looking at a scene on TV. What's that? Watch this. Okay. And the few days' worth of meds that had been dispensed, I stuffed them into the bag, and I headed down the corridor. Now, I snuck past the nurse station, so apparently people on 7F have the freedom to walk around in the hospital from what I assume, because last time she said that she had more freedom than other patients, so, I assume because, you're going to die, they're going to let you have more freedom, at least I would hope. And quickly strode toward the elevators. A bag in my right hand, the keys in my left, the long-neglected driver's license in my breast pocket. In front of the lounge, and the next thing I saw was the girl sitting there watching TV as per usual, staring blankly and boredly at the screen, sitting on a little foldable chair. Hey, that show any good? Does it look that way to you? No, not at all. The all too expected exchange. Her eyes looked as far away as they always had. Well then, shall we go together? What? I continued talking as I showed her the keys in my hand. See, I don't want it to be at home. And I don't want it to be here on 7F either. I added it here for no reason. Well then, shall we go together? Okay. Bro, is this the end? With that, she stood up from her chair. Her hair swayed with her and grazed the tip of my nose. And then she too stuffed a few days' worth of meds in the bag, and we made to leave 7F together. I switched off that boring TV. The grating laughter at the MC was forever obliterated. Both of us in pajamas clad boarded the elevator, heading down from the top floor down to 1F. At 1F, we headed not for the ER entrance, but for the outpatient clinic's entrance. Whoosh. The cold winter air struck away at our faces. All the more strong in a wide open space like the parking lot. Dude, this music is getting to me. The two of us wandered around the spacious field, looking about ourselves with unease, and after a little while, we came across my father's car. He's a goddamn ricer, the silver coupe. My father's pride and joy, impeccably maintained. I immediately inserted the key and opened the door. Go ahead, get in. Very well. Thud. I sank into the driver's seat. She was in the passenger seat, but she was so short that she'd have a hard time seeing the road. I turned the key into ignition and stepped lightly on the accelerator, just as I learned during training. Vroom, vroom. Reassuring engine noises filtered into the cabin. I released the handbrake and then applied the clutch. Now we could go anywhere. That was our plan. Alright, let's go. Okay. She nodded slightly. Instead of replying, I shifted into second gear, and the car accelerated smoothly. Unused to the clutch and swaying nervously, I advanced slowly. You're swerving. Yeah, it's my first time in a car. Well, it's the first time since I got my license that I've driven a car. I see. The exit of the parking lot was now in view, and the largest road beyond it without traffic lights. I swear to God, if she gets in an accident and dies, I'm fucking done with this game. I turned into it. Wait. Okay, yeah, I turned into it. Beep, beep. The sound of honking car horns. Those were directed at me as I cut into the road. The silver coupe complained, but did not stop as I worked the unfamiliar clutch, the stiff gearbox. I must really have rubbed the other drivers the wrong way, as the honking of horns did not seem likely to cease. Did it say cease? Yeah. But I just continued to drive without caring much. None of it quite seemed real at all. Hey, what is it? Are you scared? Do you want me to be... No, not really. Still before noon, the high-flying sun, the skies of January above and beyond the windshield, skies so blue that they seemed almost in morning. We had no destination. On that cold day with an alien clutch in a swerving car, on that day when we drove onto the highway in our pajamas, on that very... Bitch, you're taking the highway and you're driving this car for the first time? The fuck is wrong with you? On that very day of winter... Embarking Midtown Highway. I don't want to read highway because I assume something bad's happened. Around when that blazing high sun had changed to dusky orange. We were continuing to drive, just driving in any direction at random, and in a place that I did not recognize. We're stopping for a bit. Okay. I finally brought the car to a halt. A roadside somewhere far away from civilization. No traffic anywhere to be seen. Lonely. Having stopped the car in this nameless place, I started inspecting around the cabin. If there was anything useful here, we'd just run off without any preparation at all, but there was something terribly leaping out at me. With that on my mind, I first scoured the dashboard. There's nothing here at all. A couple hundred yen, cluttered around the gear stick, a few manga volumes, and a cheap disposable camera. It wasn't as if we had a destination, but the onboard GPS system looked broken, and I had only about 8,000 yen on me. That's around $80. That was all the money I had laying around when I up and left. So, combined with the pocket change I'd found, I had only 9,000 yen or so $90. Of course, I hadn't really expected that there'd be anything in the car anyways, but this lack of money presented a problem. It wouldn't be possible for us to find a lodging on this budget. And it didn't seem likely that this girl would have any money on her either. Is something the matter? No, it's nothing. Whatever. I'd half expected this from the beginning. It wasn't as if I thought this through enough to have things like a plan or a schedule. I just wanted to get out right then and there. I didn't want to stay where I was. Underneath the curtain of twilight, I started up the silver coupe again. Hey, are you hungry? I asked her as I drove along. Come to think of it, she hadn't eaten anything since morning. Want to stop at a convenience store or something? No. Hey, don't be like that. And the food's much better than anything up on 7F. She did not respond to me. Instead, she looked straight down at the pink pajamas she was wearing. Oh yeah, that's right. I looked down at my own clothing. Sure enough, in these pajamas we'd be conspicuous no matter where we went. Not that we weren't conspicuous right now. In any case, we'd have to do something about them later. About them. Did she say later? Yeah, about them. Okay. And having made my decision, I steered back towards civilization. After a little more driving, we arrived in a place whose name I didn't know. Probably somewhere close to a rail station. Certainly enough people around for it to be the case. There's gotta be one around here somewhere. I looked around as I drove. My back pitched a little forward, not touching the seat. And there one is. At last, a coin laundromat. It looked pretty run down from the outside on the first floor of a small, forlorn building. This was as good a place as any. I stopped the car not far from the entrance to this place. Alright, I'll be back in a second. Leaving her and her confused face in the car, I walked into the laundromat. My nose was filled with the smell of bleach and detergent the moment the automatic doors closed. The exterior of the laundromat had told no lie. The washers and dryers were old and run down as well. There's nobody here. The empty laundromat swallowed whole my murmured words. Only a single dryer was in operation, making its characteristic humming noises. I immediately walked to the machine and checked its timer. It looked like it would operate for 30 minutes on 200 yen, and only 5 minutes had elapsed so far. Whoever it was had probably gone elsewhere to kill some time. Ruminating over this, I looked around just one more time to reassure myself that no one was around. Then, satisfied that I was all alone, I put my hand on the door handle of the drying machine, and I abruptly opened it. Its door opened during operation. The dryer spun down to a forced halt. I pulled out a clump of half-dry clothing, ignoring the heat and the humidity. And after looking around once more to make sure no one was around, I walked out of the laundromat just like that. Oh, she sounded slightly surprised when she saw my arms full of clothing. But I threw the clothes in the back seat without a word. Alright, let's go. I looked back at the bundle of clothes with the steering wheel in one hand. Gaudy looking sweaters and jeans and almost nothing else. All in pretty big sizes at that. All still wet, but the car's heating would dry them out soon. Change into whatever you like later. She didn't react much to those words either. She just looked back at the pile of clothes. Look, we had no choice. I know. Well, obviously, it wasn't as if I liked doing this kind of thing. And it wasn't as if there was anything I could... And it wasn't as if there was anything I was saving that money for. It was just that given the amount we had, it would be very difficult to buy new clothes. After I journeyed for a bit around when the moon shone full above us. Jesus Christ, I just can't say that word. I stopped the car next to some public park. Probably a place for children to play, tucked away in the corner of a residential area. And there, I started looking through the clothes I'd stolen some time back. They were mostly dry by now, thanks to the heating in the car. All men's clothing, after all. I'd inspected the heap once before. A veritable amount of gaudy jeans and sweaters. Probably someone around my age, around the same size, it looked like. And sitting in the driver's seat of the car, I changed to a pair of jeans and a sweater. Hey, you should get changed too. They're all too big. Then will you go on wearing pajamas forever? Fine. She answered reluctantly, grabbed some jeans and other clothes, and opened the door. Hey, where are you going? To get changed. And just like that, she started walking to the park's bathroom. Hey, that was fast. She'd come back in short order. the pink pajamas she'd been wearing in her hands, a white shirt, and a pair of jeans on her body. Well, that turned out fairly well. No answer I expected this, but everything was too big and baggy on her. The jeans were too long and rolled far up at the cuffs, and the sleeves of the shirt were much the same way. The pajamas were better. Come now, don't say that. It was a little warmer this way, at least. She made an only slightly dissatisfied face at my words. Oh, is that it? Were you hoping for more girlish clothes? Not really. The same response as ever. I was sure that she wasn't happy with her baggy shirt, but she soon returned to her usual lack of expression. Swish. It had begun to rain all of a sudden. A freezing rain falling from the frigid January sky as if it had forgotten how to stop. The countless raindrops splattering on the windshield and obscuring the view from the inside. Actually, it was recently raining here yesterday in Sacramento, or Thursday actually, and it's supposed to be raining today, Friday, but it's not, which is good, you know. Although we do need rain, it's just I don't want it to be raining 24/7. That'd be insane. And it's supposed to be raining the day that you guys are seeing this, so we'll see. And when each grew too large for the surface tension to hold it up, a few of them gathered, slid down, became rivers. And those rivers swallowed up raindrops underneath them and ran to the bottom. I stared emptily at the rain from inside. A parking lot somewhere, a desolate place in the middle of the mountains. Having finished shopping at a convenience store, we were spending the night here. The dinner menu: 2 rice balls, 500 milliliters of Pocari Sweat, half a bag of potato chips. It's been a long time since we'd last did anything like this. Yeah. She murmured with a convenience store rice ball in one hand. It wasn't anything of wonderful quality, but it was far better than anything served up in 7F. And when we were both going after a potato chip, she suddenly stopped reaching for it. Is something the matter? Not really. But her eyes were turned past the windshield, glazed by the rain, at a few white flowers on the roadside. At some flowers soaked by rain. I didn't know if someone had planted them there or if they were wild, but I remembered something about them. Were those Narcissu? Those are Narcissus. Narcissus. Oh, right, Narcissus. Zoos. I don't even know. Well, I don't know flower names all that well. I'd at least heard of Narcissus before. I'm going to keep saying that. Narcissus. You got to say, like, zoo. You don't have to. I'm just saying that's how I pronounce it. And this girl who spoke a single word was actually talking about something. And so I followed along. And speaking of which, are they not exactly the real deal as well? Yeah, something like that. So they must be pretty rare then. Not really. You can find them anywhere. Anywhere. And where exactly? It wasn't as if I had any deep purpose in asking. It was just that I was making conversation as best as I could. And yet this girl thought about it for a bit. And slowly opened her mouth. West. West? West Side? Awaji Island is famous for them. Awaji Island? Hey, wait. How far away do you think that is? I just started driving a car, so I wasn't even halfway proficient yet. It was probably about 700 kilometers away. And even on the tollways, I couldn't say how long it would take. And in the first place, I don't think we had enough money for that. If we went by normal highways instead of the tollways, there was no way we'd have enough gas. Hey, don't say stuff like that. You can't mean to go there, right? Who said I wanted to go? What? I just answered your question. And just like that, she went back to staring at the flowers across the windshield. The thick haze of the cold rain streaming on glass. She kept gazing and gazing and gazing. I didn't particularly want to go there either, but I had nowhere else that I wanted to go. So we're actually going to cut it here because we're already at like 29 minutes. So guys, that was it for Saturday Screw Around with Narcissu. Oh shit, where do I pause? Whoa, go back. Whoa. Motherfucker. God damn it. I didn't fucking save. I didn't save, guys. Fucking damn it. So yeah, guys, we're done with Saturday Screw Around. Come back next week where hopefully we finish the story. I'm so mad I have to go through that. I'm going to rush through that again. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for tomorrow's Demon's Cross. And then Monday we're going to start up with Splatoon again for the final episodes of Quick Play for Splatoon. There's some news going on with Splatoon. And there's going to be some news for Tuesday. Tuesday there will be a Topic Tuesday. So thank you guys for watching and stay tuned for that stuff. I'll see you next time. Have an awesome day. Bye.